Good evening. Welcome to CSB IAS Academy Current Affairs Bulletin. Today, in all the headlines, in almost all the newspapers, they spoke about India's GDP downfall. Our GDP in this quarter, compared to last year in the same quarter, have contracted by 24%. If you see live mint paper today, if you see live mint paper today, since independence, this is the worst contract, worst fall of GDP. So if you see the story, since independence, they have started from 1950 onwards. This is the worst, and this is because of coronavirus lockdown. Coronavirus lockdown. GDP shrinks by 24%. Shrinks by 24%, and Atmanirbhar Bharat stimulus packages, they're not enough. Government has to do much more things. Government have to do many more things. Indian GDP in this quarter shrank by 24% of the current financial year over the same quarter in the last financial year. This will be the first negative growth in GDP since 1990s. So even 1990s, if you see this, the trend is so bad. And from independence, this is the worst fall. If you see from independence, this is the worst contraction of GDP. So this is a negative news today. Our GDP and India affected a lot of this lockdown. If you compare with other countries, though they have fall, but not like India in the similar way. India's fall is very heavy. GDP contract is very heavy. That is 24%. It's very high. Next important news. India's young demography won't be the same by 2036. As you all know, the average age of an Indian is around 29 now. Actually, uh, now almost 50% of Indians are young. 50% of Indians are young. And India's young demography will not be so young by 2036. And people below 24, below 24 by 2036 will be only 34%. So the people who are in the age group of 24 will be only 34% by 2036. And one more important thing, India is now in the era of demographic dividend. India is reaping the benefits of demographic dividend, but not to the full potential. Though young population is very high because of their employment in informal sectors, unemployment problem, and no self-employment opportunities, lack of skills, we are not harnessing the full potential of the dividend. And after 20-30 years, we'll enter into the stage of demographic deficit. If that stage comes, it will be a more problematic thing for India, as we need to address the old age population. Next important news. India plans supply chain initiatives along with Australia and Japan to counter China. You all know, till now, China plays a crucial role in supply chain. What is this supply chain? See, when you are getting a final product, it crosses lot of stages. For example, Apple iPhone. For Apple iPhone or Apple products, American companies will give capital, technology, and software. Hardware, assembling, all these things do happen in China. And in the same way, many products do happen. That they're assembling hardware, technology, all these things in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, etc. So there will be capital. After that, there will be intermediary products, assemblage, if necessary, any value addition, and it will finally reach to the customer. This is called supply chain. So, capital, infrastructure, intermediary products or raw materials, assembling, if necessary, any value addition, then product will go to customer. So, this is called value chain. This is called value chain, also called as supply chain. So, India wanted to counter China in supply chain. So, India wanted to have common initiatives with Australia and Japan in supply chain. This is the thing. Next important news. Inscription from Renati Chola era. A rare inscription, a rare inscription dating back to Renati Chola era has been found in a remote village in Kadapa district of Andhra Pradesh. Renadu, Renadu, Renadu. Renadu is in present Kadapa. It is present Kadapa. It is ruled by independent rulers called Renadu rulers, Renadu Cholas, and they are independent basically, but slowly they have come under the suzerainty of Eastern Chalukyas or Vengi Chalukyas. They have come under the suzerainty of Eastern Chalukyas or Vengi Chalukyas, and they have a unique honor of writing their inscriptions in Telugu in 7th century AD, 8th century AD. So Renati Cholas, they used to write their inscriptions in Telugu. So the present inscription is in Telugu. The inscription is on Dolomite rock, Dolomit, Dolomite rock, and the inscription was written in Telugu. The present inscription that was found in Renadu area, Kadapa district, it was in Telugu, and it was assigned to 8th century AD. It was told that the inscription was made in 8th century AD under Chola Maharaja of Renadu. The inscription tells that some land is gifted to a Brahmin priest. The inscription tells that some land is gifted to a Brahmin priest. So these things are very important when you find something. Renadu, Kadapa area of Andhra Pradesh. Next important news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate first World Solar Technology Summit on September 8th. Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate first World Solar Technology Summit on September 8th. You all know that India is one of the important member. In fact, Modi have led International Solar Alliance in 2015 when he went to Paris, France. And the headquarters of International Solar Alliance are in India. First time, headquarters of international organization is in India, and Modi's dream project, pet project, is International Solar Alliance. What is this International Solar Alliance? The countries which are in the tropical regions, that is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Between tropical regions, there are around 122 countries. So, if an alliance is formed in these tropical countries to harness the solar technology, that will be very good, right? So, India led and International Solar Alliance have come into existence, and the headquarters are in India. And Prime Minister Modi is going to inaugurate on September 8th World Solar Technology Summit. This is a world's first solar technology summit in a virtual platform. Modi is going to speak in a virtual platform. He's going to inaugurate in a virtual platform, and he's going to talk about next generation state of art technologies for effective use of solar energy. As you all know, renewable energy is looming large. Fossil fuels are retreating. So we need to harness more and more solar technology. So the good news is first World Solar Technology Summit is going to be held. Next important news. As you all know, due to COVID and lockdown, most of the business were closed, and people, even individuals, lost their employment. And people are expecting. Initially, the government gave moratorium on loans, bank repayments. Now, a case was filed in the Supreme Court. Now, central government told to the Supreme Court that loan moratorium can be extended up to 2 years. Also, we can extend, but interest remissions, interest submissions, subventions, we are not going to give. So we give moratorium, temporary stop. Moratorium means a temporary ban. We don't ask loans for next 2 years, but interest remissions we don't want to give. Let's see what Supreme Court is going to tell on this. Let's wait and see what Supreme Court is going to tell on this. The central government and Reserve Bank of India informed the Supreme Court that the moratorium period on repayment of loans amid corona pandemic is extendable by 2 years. Next important news, as you all know, telecom companies and government of India had a fight, big fight from last 10-15 years in the Supreme Court. The fight is about AGR, adjusted gross revenue. Actually, there was a revenue sharing between telecom companies and the government. Telecom companies are not paying the revenue sharing as a fees to the government. The reason is telecom companies said that they have to pay only, the revenue should be taken only on the core services, not on non-core services like advertisement, other revenues. The case went up to Supreme Court. Remember, there was a concept called AGR, adjusted gross revenue. Government should get a fair share in the revenue as a fees. So whatever profits, whatever revenue the telecom services are earning, there will be a concept called adjusted gross revenue, AGR. In that, government has to get a share. Telecom companies said that we need not give the share in the non-core services like advertisements, like other services. Only we will give the share in the telecom core services. The case went up to Supreme Court. Last year, Supreme Court said no, no, no. Government is right. You need to share with the government not only core services but also non-core services. So they need to pay a lot of money. Now they wanted time. They asked the Supreme Court to give 20 years time. But Supreme Court granted 10 years time to telecom companies to pay the AGR dues to government. Supreme Court granted 10 years time to the telecom companies to pay AGR dues to the government. AGR, what is AGR is a very important topic. Adjusted gross revenue is a fee sharing mechanism between the government of India and the telecom service providers who shifted to revenue sharing model in 1999. They had a revenue sharing model. Earlier, before 1999, they used to follow fixed license fee. Before 1999, they used to follow fixed license fee. After 1999, they followed revenue sharing model. In this course, telecom companies said, okay, we will pay AGR not on non-core services, but only on core services, core telecom services. But government said, no, no, you need to pay. Then the case went up to Supreme Court. Now, Supreme Court said they have to pay money. But again, they went to Supreme Court asking time, 20 years of time. And Supreme Court gave 10 years of time for repayment of AGR. Next important news, what is Agriota? Agriota. Agriota is a new online market platform, e-market platform, launched to bridge a gap between UAE food industry and Indian farmers. So, Agriota, Agriota, is a new technology driven online platform for to bridge the gap between Indian farmers and UAE food industry. It's very important because our farmers can sell our products to the UAE food industry through online. Very important. Okay, next important news is the Pinaka missile system is going to be deployed in India, China, India, Pakistan borders by India. The Pinaka missile system is going to be deployed in India, China, India, Pakistan border. You may get a direct prelims question. What is Pinaka missile? Pinaka is a multiple rocket launcher produced in India and developed by Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO for the Indian Army. Remember, Pinaka is a multiple launch rocket or multiple launch rocket system. It's a multiple rocket launcher. Pinaka. Pinaka's name have come from Shiva's bow, the word Pinaka. So it's a multiple rocket launcher or multiple rocket launching system. Very important. Next important news, India to receive development assistance loan worth 3,500 crore rupees from Japan to fight COVID-19. So Japan, all the time, India is the highest recipient of ODA from Japan, official development assistance. In India-Japan relations, you can write this. Not only now, from last 20 years, I'm seeing in the news, India is the largest recipient of Japan's ODA, official development assistance. And now Japan is giving 3,500 crore rupees loan for India to fight against COVID, to fight against coronavirus, to fight against COVID. Next important news, the next coming generation in India, who are born between 1997 and 2012, that's called Generation Z. They are not going to have many formal jobs. I think you all know there's a term in economy, gig economy, like Uber, Zomato, where the employment is without any formal pensions, formal insurance, nothing. They will come, they will work for 3 hours, 5 hours, they will log out and go, they'll get pay. So in Zomato, in Uber, the employees will work in a gig economy. No formal setup like pensions, all these things. So India's Generation Z, India's Generation Z. Generation Z means who are born between 1992 and 2012. Actually, we have some terms like Generation X. Generation X is who are born between 1965 to 1980. Millennials, there's a word called millennials. Millennials means who were born between 1981 to 1996. Generation Z, who are born between 1997 to 2012. So this generation Z might enter into non-formal jobs, not completely formal jobs. Next important news today: CMERA, CSIR and CMERA. What is CSIR? You all know that. Council for Industrial, Scientific and Industrial Research. CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, and CMERA, Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute. Both put together, in fact, Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute works under CSRA. Both put together, they are developing the largest solar tree, world's largest solar tree in West Bengal, Durgapur, with an installed capacity of 11.5 kilowatt power. So solar panels with big solar power tree. You can see the photograph. Solar tree. Council for Scientific and Industrial Research along with CMERA have going to have world's largest solar power tree already installed in Durgapur, West Bengal. Its capacity is 11.5 kilowatt power. 11.5 kilowatt power. So it's very good. So these are all the important news for today. And the other important news is Prashant Bhushan. Prashant Bhushan, he was made to pay fine of 1 rupee. 1 rupee. Prashant Bhushan was made to pay the fine of 1 rupee for criminal contempt of court, for scandalizing the court, for criminal contempt, scandalizing. And one more important news: Israel for the first time flew its aeroplanes on the airspace of Saudi Arabia. So Israel is a Jewish country, Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country. Earlier there was no much friendship. Now slowly Israel and Saudi are also coming together. For the first time, Israelis flights are flying through Saudi Arabia. That is very, very important in the airspace of Saudi Arabia. One more important news: India is spending 4 lakh crores and aims to achieve 100 million tons of coal gasification by 2020. 4 lakh crores and aims to achieve 100 million tons of coal gasification by 2020. What is coal gasification? Transforming coal into gas is called coal gasification. It is considered as similar to syngas. Syngas consists of carbon monoxide, hydrogen, methane, and water vapor. So India is spending a lot on coal gasification. Why coal gasification? Why? Because coal gasification is thermally efficient. You all know coal in its form is not eco-friendly. Coal gasification is thermally efficient and cleanest way to convert energy content of coal into electricity. When you go for coal gasification, it is one of the cleanest methods. It's one of the cleanest methods. So government is spending a lot of money, and government also have a target of producing coal 100 million tons of coal gasification. 100 million tons of coal gasification. Okay, these are all the important news today. Tomorrow we'll meet for much more other news. Thank you.